Good evening, everyone. My name is Jake Morris. I'll be doing my informative speech on the Cherokee myth of the two wolves and inner conflict. And these are some of the sources that I've selected from my RAP database appointment with my librarian and some of the citations that I'll be using in this informative speech. So my first source is an excerpt from a book from The Truly Alive Child, and the author is Simon Harrison, and he is an associate's professor as well as an educator who's dedicated to reconnecting individuals, and especially children, with nature and their intrinsic potential. He has served as a director of the Children of Earth Foundation as well as a founder of Wild Earth Children, that are both nonprofit organizations aimed at fostering deeper connections with Earth. And his work also kind of emphasizes the idea of unconditional love, lasting peace, and deep purpose. So in his article, he kind of emphasizes that work, and he uses it through the Cherokee story of the two wolves to highlight how human thoughts and actions shape the world that we live in. And it critiques the modern education system that kind of relies on fear as a primary motivator, teaching essentially that success is the only path to security. And Harrison argues that society unconsciously perpetuates this fear-based reality, but also has the power to create a more compassionate world through conscious choices, rooted also in love and understanding. And I'll be using this source as my evidence of purposefully feeding the good wolf and acknowledging and addressing the wolf instilling fear and hatred in us. And with those two together is important to achieving peace in times of fear and adversity. My second source is an article called Decolonizing Cherokee History, and it's authored by Jana Rogers, who is a decolonization scholar. She wrote her master's thesis and also this RAP article that I selected of the decolonization of the Cherokee Nation. She's also a professional historian and founder of the Bennett Beautification Project and the ONAN, and she sits on the editorial board for the International Journal of Comparative Psychology. So in this article, Rogers explains the events and trauma experienced by the Cherokee Nation around the forced removal movement that's widely known as the Trail of Tears. And she evaluates this movement kind of through the lens of the Holocaust, and it comes abundantly clear that the intention of this movement was ethnic cleansing. By forcing Cherokee people off their lands, forcing religious conversion, as well as conversion into Indo-European education. And this kind of encases my source of the loss of Cherokee history, stories, and myths through colonization, and why the origin of the two wolves and other oral storytellings have otherwise unknown origins, but that through perseverance and modern decolonization that these stories have been able to live, passed down for many generations, and still appear today. Source 3 is a peer-reviewed article that I located with the help of my RAP session and database, and it is a mental health evaluation of the pressures of LGBTQIA individuals, and the authors is Elsin Aklam, and she has her bachelor's in psychiatric nursing, and the other author is Muala Yilmaz, who has her doctorate in psychiatry and is currently a professor at Mercer University. And they have both conducted research and written peer-reviewed publications around mental health regarding gender-diverse individuals. This article discusses the societal pressures of LGBTQIA individuals and has studies as recent as this year. It explains the challenges faced by transgender and intersex individuals, as well as the trauma and incongruence around sex and gender in recent times. And this provides the evidence for inner conflict of gender diverse individuals, as well as highlighting the societal phobia and pressure inflicted on individuals in this gender minority. It also goes on to describe the internal and external pressures of these individuals, which I will tie back to the symbology of the duality of the two wolves story. And then my fourth source is one that I kind of got on my own, and it is essentially a written, transcribed oral storytelling of the two wolves myth. I got it straight from a reputational website, and that is the organizational website recognizing and providing awareness to the Nanticoke Cherokee Native Tribe. I also pulled a direct quote from their mission statement that the organization aims to foster understanding, respect, and preservation of the Nanticoke Cherokee Indian tribe, as well as an indigenous society through conservation, education, and cultural awareness programs. And I believe this was the most ethical source of this myth and tellings, as sometimes it has been used in psychology as well as just general public. So I wanted to make sure I had a ethical source region for this myth for my informative speech. I appreciate any feedback that you may have. Thank you so much.